You all have heard about large language models, and there is a two types of them, mainly the open large language model and the closed large language model. These are the questions that are asked by many of my mentees, the people I work with. Which model should we use? Should we use an open one or a closed one? So today we are going to talk about the accessibility, the transparency, and the innovation versus between these two things. Before I wanted to talk to you more, we all know that open AI is a large language model. The name, people think that it is open source, but open AI large language model, initially it released GPT in 2020, which was an open source, but the latest ones that we are using right now in chat GPT, the 3.5, the 4.5 turbo, both of them are closed source. Even the Gemini Ultra and the Gemini Pro that have been launched recently, those are closed LLM. It looks like it is open source, but they are not. Going a little bit before we go into details about large language models, we all have seen that they are AI systems that are trained on vast amount of data to understand, generate, and interact with human languages. And we have done a 1 hour complete video about how it is able to do transactions, human-like transactions or communications, how they translate the language to a language that we can understand, is the power of these large language models, which we have talked in details in the 1 hour video below as well when you are going through the course in details. And the two main types that we wanted to have this chapter is focused upon what is the open and what is the closed source. So first we will look into the open large language model. So they are accessible for public use and modification. They promote transparency and innovation. And one thing, one of the major open LLMs that are there is the Llama 2, which what it means that it has not only given access to public, but also you can look into the various different weights of that particular model, and that is the power of open LLMs. And there are other examples also. Up to GPT-3 we have all open sources. Any other GPT that we are using right now is closed source. And then we have transformer models, GPT Neo, and all the GPTs that are out there. And the best thing about open LLM is that you can download it from Hugging Face, you can run it in your local PC as well, and this is very, very powerful. In the next, we are going to look at closed LLMs. So closed LLMs are proprietary and they have limited transparency and methodology. We don't know the weights of the different words that go into the large language model. They are developed by private entity, like here in the case OpenAI has developed their models that they have not released it to public, as well as it is for specific applications like GPT Turbo Instruct is for mainly for chatting, for interaction with the humans that are there. And some of the examples are GPT 3.5, the models by OpenAI, GPT 3 and above, and even the Gemini models that are closed source. Mostly how we access these closed LLMs are through API calls. We cannot download the model and we cannot play around with it. We can only use it as an API call, and maybe we need to pay for every ping that we give. So some of the consideration between open and closed is the innovation versus control. If you want a lot of innovations, then you need to go for, you have to look around this. Quality and reliability is one thing that we have to understand. Open source, like Llama 2, the good thing about that, it was open to public, and there are a lot of variants of Llama 2 that is available. So these are some of the things that we need to do, and the choices really depend upon specific needs. If you want transparency, if you want control, and it is not an answer that I can give you in this small chapter, but you have to consider a lot of things that you want. If you want accuracy, if you want transparency, and also the closed LLMs, you need to pay for it. So those are the things that also you need to keep into consideration. So in conclusion, both are used for different purposes. Open models are crucial for broad technology development, like all the Hugging Face transformer models are open source. You can always take it, tweak it. Llama 2 is available. Hundreds of versions of Llama 2 is available. And while closed model is, they are well trained, and for specific things they can be used, and it is very easy. You don't need to have hardwares, you don't need to have processors to run these models. You just need to do an API call using any notebook that is there. So these were the main differences between open and closed, and then you can make your call and understand while you are working which one is good for you to start using. See you in the next video. Happy learning.